Hello fellow Sudokans and welcome to Zen and the Art of the Guardian's Sudoku puzzle. It's Monday the 12th of August 2024. I hope you are keeping well, enjoying life as best you possibly can. It's a bank holiday here in Thailand because it is Mother's Day. Mother's Day, of course, held in many countries, probably most countries I would imagine, but doesn't always appear on the same day globally. Here in Thailand we have Mother's Day on the day that is the birthday of the current king's mother, so that seems to be very appropriate. In England, of course, it can vary. I never knew when it was, but it made me think this morning about my own mother, who died 9 years ago. In fact, that's the last time I went back to the UK was for her funeral. What is the job of a mother? It sounds like a strange thing, isn't it? But some people do it well, some people do it badly, I suppose. But basically it's to nurture young people and give them exactly the right amount of freedom and discipline and protection and whatever, which is an incredibly difficult thing to judge. I think it's one of the most difficult things to be able to understand, really, and doesn't always work, because sometimes, even if you are the perfect parent, their children can go off in a direction that was unexpected and unwarranted and undesirable. All of those are possible. But my own mother was wonderful, really. I mean, we often say that, you know, our mother is wonderful, but I was very close to her from when I was very young. I think because in the early 60s, of course, there was the traditional, you know, mother is the person who looks after the child kind of pattern of behaviour in society in the UK. Now, of course, fathers can have much more input, much more say, and you know, take more part in the raising of children, which is a wonderful thing, of course. But I was very close to my mother, and less so to my father, I will say. And I think my mother was really wonderful, and partly because of how she handled my moving to Thailand, which was a really difficult thing for her. So I was 26 when I came to live. I'm an old man now, in my 60s now, but I came to live in Thailand at the age of 26, and it was such a shock. I mean, to everybody, really. It was a totally unexpected thing, and seemingly without exact parameters as to why, or reasons why it should be the case, other than the fact that I felt that I ought to live in Thailand because it felt like home, and I kind of could flourish here as a human being, which was a difficult thing to accept. And when I used to go home for visits, now remember, this is the days before the internet, and you know, the telephone communication was so expensive. It was very limited. We just chatted once in a while, but it was just too expensive, basically, to be calling very often. Used to write letters, not enough on my part, of course, but you know, we did communicate by letter. But when I went back on visits, after I'd been home for a couple of weeks, say maybe going into the third week, my mum would say, "You're homesick, aren't you? And you want to go home?" And I would say, "Yes, I am." And she would say, "Okay, I let you," which of course she didn't have the power to stop me, but it wasn't like that. It was an incredible thing, because it was so difficult for her. She really adored me, and that was a difficult thing for her to let me go, but she did it wonderfully. So thank you, Mother. Happy Mother's Day. Let's get on with the game of Sudoku, shall we? This is the Guardian's easy level game. So if you're new to the channel, as many of you might be, well, some of you might be, or many, we never get many people on this channel, but what is the game about? I always give an explanation on a Monday. Well, look, there are 9 empty squares down here. No numbers there, but look, there are some squares here with numbers in 8, 5, 2, and 9 in this row. What happens? I think you can guess, can't you? Even if you've no idea and never seen Sudoku before, I think you could guess what we have to do. We have to put numbers in the blank squares here, there, and everywhere. And you'll notice the lowest number is 1, the highest number is 9. There are no double-digit digits. And that means that we have to decide how we can do this. Now, some people, when they first start to play the game, think they have to guess at the answer, but no, we definitely don't guess. That's not the object of the game. The object of the game is to use logic to come up with the solution. And that's the beauty of this game and the wonderful thing, and why all of us on this channel love playing the game. It's a simple beauty of logic. So how do we use logic to find this answer? Well, basically we just need a fairly simple idea that each number can appear once only in its column or row, or these smaller blocks of 3 by 3 squares that you see outlined in dark lines here. You can see we have small grids here. Now there are 9 squares in this grid. There are 9 squares in every column and 9 squares in every row, and that means each number has only the possibility of appearing once, right? We can only have each digit one time. So for example, in this row here where we have 5, 2, 9 and 7 already, we already have those digits, so we're not looking for that. We're looking for 1, we're looking for 3, 4, 6, 8. All of those will fit into these empty squares here. Hope that makes sense. Let's see how we go about it. So look at this block up here, this section here. We've got 7 and 2 already. Everything else we need to get. Now, if we happen to be playing on a computer like this, well, I'm going to be showing you, but you can play on pen and paper, your first games. If you inspect the 9s around, you'll see we have a 9 in this column here. Now, what does it mean? It means that 9 can't reappear in this column. So this square and this square definitely can't be 9 because we have a 9 down here. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing with this 9 here. It blocks up there. When I say blocks, I mean disallows any 9s in this square and this square. So we've already locked out 4 of our possible squares that we know can't be 9. Now when we come across here into the row, we can see there's a 9 in this row here. What does it mean? It means 9 can't be in this square or this square, which we've already blocked anyway, because there's a 9 here. And you're ahead of me, aren't you? You know what's going to happen. The 9 is going to block across here, and that's going to give us just one possibility. The 9 has to be there. It can't go anywhere else because everywhere else is blocked by the surrounding 9s. And that's what we do. We just need to use that kind of principle in various guises to come up with the answer. Now I can see something else. Okay, let's think of it in a slightly different way here. This particular block in the middle has lots of numbers already here, right? We've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Now remember, we need every number between 1 and 7. So when we look and see what's missing, we find the missing numbers are 3, 5, and 7. That's what we still need for this central block here, 3, 5, and 7. And so 3, 5, and 7 will have to appear in these 3 squares here. And I want to look at this square in particular. Now we ask ourselves, can it be a 3? So what do we do? How do we know if it can be 3 or not? We have to look around at surrounding squares, so in particular the columns and the rows. So we look at the column. Well, there's nothing there to say it can't be a 3. When we look at the row here, aha, we've got a 3 here, so we know for sure that this can't be a 3. So remember, we only have 3, 5, and 7 to go in these 3 squares, so we know it's not a 3. Now how about 5? So again, in the column there's nothing, but over here we have a 5 blocking here. So what do we know? It's not 3, it's not 5. It has to be a 7 because it can't be the other 2 digits. So we know the 7 goes there. And now we have 3 and 5 in our remaining 2 squares here, right? Now I think you can see, if your eyes are quick enough, 5 blocks that square there. So we know that the 5 is going to go there. And now there's only one number left. 1, 2, 3 goes here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We have the whole series. That block is fulfilled as a block. It feels happy as a block. Right. Okay, now what else can we do? Okay, along this row here there are 3 empty squares again. We've got 1. Do we have a 2? No. Do we have 3? Yes. 4? No. 5, 6, yes, no 7. So the missing numbers in these squares are 2, 4, and 7. That's what we're looking for in this row, 2, 4, and 7 to have the whole series. Remember, 1 to 9 in every row, every block, and every column. So let's notice the 7s, because we've got 7 blocking this square in the column and 7 very close by here. So we know that 7 can't go in this square or this square. It has to go there. So now we're left with 2 and 4 to go in these squares here, and I think you can see pretty quickly, because this 2 is quite close by, that this can't be 2 because of this 2 here. So 2 must go there and 4 must go there. Now we also got 4 blocking across here like this. Those 3 squares are now outlawed for digit 4, and so 4 is going to appear there. Right, now in this block over here, I notice that 5 blocks across here, 5 blocks down here, and 5 blocks up here, leaving us with just 1 empty square, which is this one here, to place our 5. Are you getting the idea now? Okay, so if you're getting the idea, you can have a look for a 5 in this block up here. I'll give you a few seconds to have a look. Remember, what you need to do is check out the surrounding 5s to help you out. I'll help you out a bit further by clicking on a 5, and now it makes it a bit easier to see. If you're playing on a computer, that makes it a bit easier than if you're playing with pen and paper, which I recommend for beginners. Okay, you've got it. So it's the 5s blocking up here. Oh, excuse me, wrong key held down. Oops. And 5 blocking across there. So that's the only possibility. We know that a 5 must go there. Now we'll continue with this 5, because this 5 that we just put in is useful to us. It blocks across here, 5 blocks across here, and 5 blocks up here. So that means this has to be a 5, and we're going to continue with that 5 that we just placed, because now 5 blocks down here, and across there, giving us the final digit 5, the final countdown. Why is it final digit 5? Because if you check, every row, every column, and every block now has a digit 5. That means there are no more to be found. There are 9 digit 5s on the board in total, 9 of every digit. This is really often referred to as a game of 9s for good reason. Right. So what else can we see? Well, when we click on an 8 like this, we can see the 8's blocking up here. That gives me an 8 in that square there. Now this is a useful thing. This is something we often need to look at in Sudoku. There is more than one way to find the answer to something. Now, I want to show you 2 ways to find the same information, okay? First up, let's see the 8 blocks across here and the 8 blocks up here. Now, how is that good for us? Because we've got 2 empty squares here, not 1. So we say, huh? That's no good. You told me I'm looking for 1 empty square. Well, yes, generally, when we can place a digit, it means that I can't say where the 8 goes, but I do know it's limited. It's either here or there. It can't be anywhere else because of the 8's blocking up and across, right? So we know that 8 is in one of these 2 squares here. So now let's consider this block here. We've got 8 blocking this square. Now what about this square? Can we put an 8 here? The answer is no, because we know that 8 is either here or here, and it doesn't matter which of those 2 it's in. 8 definitely can't go here. So we know that 8 has to be in that square there. Okay, got it? That's the kind of thing that's easy to see if you let your eyes wander around the grid. Now I'm going to undo it, because I want to show you there's another way to find the same information. What we could also do is we have an 8 in this block here. Now remember, a number can appear in its own block one time only. So this square, all of these squares can't be 8. So this square and this square are banned from being an 8. Now this 8 blocks across here like this. And so in fact we also can find the 8 from this pattern here. Blocked, blocked, and blocked. Only one place where it can appear. It has to go there. I hope that was clear. If any of this is too fast for you, please rewind and watch the video again. We have 2 across here, and up there. Just going to put 2 up there. And now 2's all the way to the bottom like this, and across there will give us 2 in that square. We're going to use that 2 that we just placed across here and down there. Find the 2 there. And there is just one more missing 2. It's in this block here. We don't have a 2 in this block here. We have 2 in every other block, you'll notice. So that means I know that I can find it. So if you have just one more block with a digit missing, you are guaranteed that you have enough information to find it. Let's just prove it. We have 2 across here, 2 down here. There's the final digit 2. That's a rule that you can remember. We always have enough information. Now, I know that we can find this digit here. I don't know what it is. I haven't worked it out yet. But there are 2 ways that I can find out that information. There are 2 empty squares here, and we have a limited number. There has to be 2, the particular 2 that form the series in this row. When I find out those 2 numbers, this will not be either of those 2 numbers, right? Or I could look this side here and do the same thing. There are 2 numbers missing, so we know which 2 numbers have to go there, so let's do that. It is 1 and 7 have to go in these squares here. Do I know which is which? No, but it's not important. If this is 1, this is 7. If this is 1, this is 7. We don't know which is which, but we know this can't be 1 or 7. So we just look along and see what we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in one of these squares, 8. We don't have 9. That's going to be a 9. Or I could have just said 9 blocks across there. Gives me the 9 there. As I said, many ways to find the information in a Sudoku puzzle. If you hear the sound of laughter in the background, that's my neighbours and my geriatric gardener who helps me out here. 7 blocks across there. This is going to be a 7, and the missing digit up here is 6. We don't have a 6 in this column yet, so very happy. People in Thailand are happy. It's a wonderful place to live in general. It's not perfect, of course. Nowhere in the world is perfect. We wouldn't want it to be, would we? Perfection would be not such a good thing, possibly, but I do enjoy living here. Right, what's left? I'm not sure. So if you're playing on a computer and can't find the next number, one thing you can do, and if you're not playing on a computer, you just have to do it manually. That means looking, just using your eyes without highlighting. Go through the numbers sequentially. 1, 2, 3, like that. So what do we know about ones? I don't think we have enough information to go further. So I can't place any 1s. I know that 1s are possibly in one of these 3 squares here like this. Somewhere up there, somewhere over there. How I know that is just by following the patterns, but none of that is important. So we'll forget that. Now 2 we have already, so I don't need to click on 2. Digit 3, what do we know about digit 3? Aha! Alan Partridge. 3 blocking up here, 3 blocking across here. That's going to give us a 3 in that square. Then 3 across here, and up there will give us a 3 in that square. 3 down here, across there, means that that's a 3, and we're going to finish off the 3s. 3 across here, and down there. There's our final digit 3. 2, 3, and 5 are now finished. Let's see, can we do anything with the 4s? Not sure. 6s? Yes, 6 blocking up here, 6 across there. That gives us a 6 in that square. Not sure I can place the next one just yet. So I will go on 7s, 7 across here, 7 up there. There's a 7 we can place. 7 across here and 7 up there. That gives me a 7 here. 7 across and down there. There's a 7. 7 up here. 7 here. That's the final digit 7. Now we've just got one empty square in this block or this row. If you check the row, check the block, you'll find it's the same number. It's a 1. 1 block's up here, giving me the 1 here. There's one empty square in this column here. 1, 2, 3. We don't have a 4 anywhere, so let's put the 4 there. Okay, there are 2 empty squares in this row. We are looking for 1 and we're looking for 6. We have both of those, a 1 and a 6. So either, you can take your pick. 6 blocks down here puts the 6 there, or the 1 blocks down there and puts the 1 there. It doesn't matter which way you see it, it's the same answer anyway. Right, now, as I say, if you're not sure about the next way to go forward, it's a good idea to go through the digits that are still remaining. So 1, can I get a 1? Do I know the answer for 1 yet? I think not. So 2, 3 I already have. So how about 4? Can we do something with 4? The answer is no. How about 6? Yes, we can. 6 blocks across here. Oh, if that sounded like a Barack Obama there. Yes, we can. 6 blocking down here. That will give me a 6 here. And now there's only one number to do here, which is a 1. And then that 1 is going to go back up there, giving us a 1 there. And the last number in this block here is a 4. One number for this column to be finished. It's a 9, I think. We need a 9 in this column, so there's our 9. And then we've got 9 blocking across here and down here, using the digits that we just placed. Remember, that helps us a lot. That's the final digit 9. 2, 3, 5, 7 and 9 are now finished, so the numbers still left are 1, 4, 6 and 8. That's what we're looking for. There's one digit missing here. In this column it's a 1. Let's put that in. 1 blocks across here. And that gives me the final digit 1. So now we're just looking for 4, 6 and 8. That's all that's left. Now luckily for us, there's one empty square here. I can see the 4 and the 8 already, so I know that's going to be a 6. 6 blocks across here, putting the 6 in the only available square. Now we're just looking for 4 and 8. So we've got an 8 here. This is going to be a 4. 4 blocks across here. There's our 4. 4 blocking up here. There's our 4. 4 blocking across here. There's our 4. Now we only have digit 8 missing. It's our last digit to complete the pattern. So we've got 8 there, 8 there, and 8 there. And our game is over. Your first game of Sudoku. I hope it wasn't too painful for you. Come back and check out plenty of easy level games on this channel if you're not sure. If you want to move up a bit, you've just discovered it, move up to the medium level puzzles. They're all in a playlist, in playlists on this channel. And then get yourself towards the harder and more interesting stuff. I say more interesting, that sounds judgmental, but I mean when you get to the harder logic puzzles, it does become seriously tough at times, this game. Okay, thanks very much, bye bye.